there's no consistency with Jesus at all for 13 centuries. Then all of a sudden, 13th century comes around, 13, 14, 15, 16th century. Geez, why is this image of Jesus looking so consistent?
And this is supposed to be God.
This is supposed to be God.
Now let's really quickly go back to Islam. What does Islam say about God as the form of a man or anything close to this?
Well, let's not answer that directly.
Yeah.
Let's try to give everybody the understanding. There are 4 types of creations. We have human beings, we have spirits, also known as jinn, we have angels, and we have animals. Right? We can all agree on those are creations. Human beings were created from what? Earth. The element of earth, clay, dirt. The angels were created from, we know, straight light, the most beautiful light. The jinn or the spirits were created from smokeless fire. And animals were created from earth and water. Now, why do I bring this up? Because we're separating each creation. Now, one creation cannot take the form of another creation. I'm made from dirt. I can never be fire. An animal was made from water and dirt. He can never be an angel. But the Christians have a lack of understanding of each form of each creation, because they have this idea of this fallen angel syndrome, where they say that the devil as a fallen angel fell from. Well, if the devil is of the spirits, he is made from fire, he can never be an angel because angels are made of light. He was never an angel to begin with. So we understand now that there are 4 different creations with 4 different purposes, all doing the same will of God. Where does God come in? Where does God come in? We will find him in the book of Genesis, where God says that he is before his creations. He is before and after. There is no separation of him. There's no correlation between God and his creations. But what we understand truly from the Islamic perspective, which coincides completely by the 4 separate creations, is simple, that God, he loves the human beings so much more, he has mercy on them to say, guess what, human beings? You have mercy, you have rights above me. God is saying that. You have rights above me and I have rights above you. Because why? The chain of command. Your right above me is that I will never step into your doing. It's your choice. You have a choice to do good and bad. I'm not going to step into doing that. You have that will. You have the opportunity. But God says, what also I won't do is I will never mix the creations together. I'm not going to confuse you. I'm never going to put myself in a human body. And I'm not going to put a human body in myself. How do we know that? The only time in history that we know that a human being spoke to God directly on earth is Moses, with Mount Sinai. When Moses begged to God, please Lord, show your face. The mountain is more sound and more structured than any human being. The mountain exploded and burst into nothing but dust. To this day there is nothing there. It's gone. Don't you think a mountain is stronger than you? A mountain can crush you. You can't crush a mountain. So if God crushed a mountain, can you imagine if he tried to put himself in a human body? It just won't work. It is impossible. It is virtually, completely impossible, because that's God's love for you, his mercy and his rights upon you. He will not interfere with what's inside of your heart and inside of your soul. This body belongs to God, but that soul is yours. You can do what you want. This body is yours. When you go and you rent a car from Enterprise, they say, okay, you can have this car for a while. Test drive it, take it across the country, but return it back. Put the right gas in there, don't get any crashes, you're fine. You don't have to pay any more fines. What do? What we do is we take that car and we drive it around, we abuse it, we put drugs inside the gas tank where there's only supposed to be gas, we put bleach inside the engine, we destroy it. And then we say, hey God, look at this. I'm going to return this car back to you. So what we're doing is we are trying to mix the creations together, which the Quran never says that. It differentiates. Jesus never said in any Bible will you ever find him saying that he is God's begotten son. He has said, I am the Son of Man. Who else said he's the Son of Man? Well, let's find out. Oh, the prophets said that they were the Son of Man. Muhammad was the Son of Man. David was the Son of Man. And Abraham was the Son of Man. but not Son of God.
Yeah, so clearly distinguishing the Creator from His creation, that's clear and simple. We're going to start to wrap things up now. Let's come to an end and tell us now from the midst of this confusion and now coming to submission and surrender to one God, how is your life now, and how do you live day to day, and what's your understanding of your purpose of life? Let's just briefly touch upon this.
We're going to go very briefly by touching into the management world. And in the management world, you have a CEO, you have a manager, and you have supervisor and subordinates, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I know that God is the CEO.
Yeah.
And the managers are the prophets. There are no more prophets. They're gone. Now comes who? Supervisors. Who are the supervisors? You and I, the ambassadors of God's decree, of the message. We have to carry that message. How do we carry it? We carry it by the most dignified way that we possibly can. In our homes, out in public, we have to be the backbone of the religion that the prophets left behind for all humanity. This is not an Arab religion. This is not a white religion or a black religion, which Elijah Muhammad preached about. This is a religion for the entire humanity. It is not a collective idea. It is God's way. So we are doing God's will. This is where I am today. I teach my children how to pray. Why do I teach them how to pray? Is because God said, if you do this, you'll be rewarded. Don't think that you're the smartest. Don't think that you're the smartest child in my class. You're not the smartest child in my class. There are children who are more smarter than you in my classroom. Don't think that you're going to pass my class if you don't come to my prayers. Go to prayer. Do the homework. Do the schoolwork, and God, who is the teacher, the ultimate teacher, the supreme being, the supreme teacher, He will pass you if you show up to prayer, if you show up honest, if you completely abolish your bad habits, if you follow His rules, His way of life. That's the bottom line. So I can't put in my own opinions or my own ideas.
Just got to submit.
Just got to submit.
It's there.
That's the way it is.
I'd like to thank you for being with us on the Dean Show.
It's a pleasure, absolutely.
The time flew. We're going to have you back again soon, inshallah, God willing.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Just to recap, Islam means total surrender and submission to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, and not His creation. We talked about some of the prophets. One of the prophets and messengers who's very dear to our heart, Jesus Christ, peace and blessings be upon Him. But there's a messenger that came after Him who confirmed Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon him, who's the last and final messenger sent to the whole of mankind, and he is the one who God has used to deliver this message, which is the same message that all the prophets taught: surrender and submission to God alone. The message has been the same since the beginning. Worship your Creator and not His creation. There's one God. Submit to Him alone. And that's the main message of Islam. So I hope you guys got to benefit from listening to JR talk about and giving us some highlights of how he came to this way of life. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please send us your emails. Otherwise, tune in every week on The Dean Show. That's THEDEEN show.com. We have a new show every week. Until next time, we'll see you again. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.